Hello again, everybody. Faceless here. Have you ever wondered why sharks might be so dangerous to at least the human eye? Well, I have a story that goes much deeper than that. What if all creatures on this world were shapeshifters, but they weren't exactly something you'd want to have to see or witness? What if some of them governed the lands between the living and the dead a little too closely and are looking for their next victim and soul to drag straight to your own personal hell? I am going to call this the flashing black teeth of oppression. Now, let us begin. Hi, my name is Simon Caldwell. I have been researching cetaceans of all kinds for most of my life. I also am very much into crustaceans and invertebrates in general. What I just witnessed the other day is something I'll not forget. I had a brother named Simon. It's funny because they named us both Simon, so we always got the Simon Says jokes because we were exactly twins. We were both out surfing one day. I noticed that the ocean was at least what he called it, getting to a nice swell. Because as a lot of surfers do and might say, they want to find the next best wave, even if it costs them their life, to have that next adrenaline rush in memory right before they meet their maker, cash their chips in, redeem their cookies, however you want to say. Well, I just saw something I still can't believe. I might have said it once or twice already, but out of nowhere, this giant red shark with black fangs comes. And I don't mean just teeth. It also had these giant protruding fangs. This is not like any shark I've ever seen. And at one point I was thinking maybe it's the black female we're talking about since we happen to be in Mexico. I told him this I told him, "You need to come back. You need to come back now. It's a shark." And he's like, "Hey man, we've dealt with sharks before. This isn't anything new." And I said, "No. This thing looks like it's out of a book of some kind of mythology. Chinese at best. You need to get out of here, man. Now, we gotta go. We have to go." And the last thing I heard was, "I'm on my," and then it cut off. And the shark jumped so high in the sky. I've never seen something do that. Came crashing down on my brother, jaws first, going straight into the water. I couldn't even hear a scream. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed. And now I've spent most of my life trying to find that thing so I can kill it. And maybe realizing that I'll be having to set more than just my brother's soul free. Since then, I go back to his grave every time. But there's always something telling me I should not go visit it at night. But there's sometimes I get off work so very lately that I have no choice but to visit my twin brother Simon at night. One day, I went there after hours. I'd say at least 2:30 in the morning. I got off work about 1. There was a lot of people walking around for that hour. Very lively, too. All dressed up in their best Sunday blues, dress blacks, sometimes beige and whites for the ladies. I felt like I was watching a scene from a completely other time and space. I walked up to some of them, and they all looked at me. They all looked at me like they didn't want me to be here. They all looked at me like they had a scorning hatred within them. One of them walked up to me and was like, "You really should not be here. My friends will not be as kind as I am, but I know you're here to see your brother. This is not a good time. During the day, we all sleep, so we can keep you all safe. But there's so many of us so far gone that only want to stare at you with hatred and tear you apart and try to steal your own life. I don't know what brought you this far, because you must know of how this cemetery operates, but the shark is the one who owns this land, for he is more than just a shark. He is one of the oldest eldritch demons I've ever seen in my life. He takes the form of that shark and a man in a suit with the exact same looking face full of fangs, the blackest of jaws. The next day I went home, thinking a lot about what that specter told me. This time I thought I'd come prepared. I may not at least be able to kill this thing like I thought, if it's what I think it is, but I can sure suppress it and seal it within one of these tombs. The next day, one of the one of the grave diggers came, saw a horrific sight. A man with a bunch of weapons, accessories, survival equipment scattered everywhere. He had deep gouges everywhere. And what was the most disturbing part is his face was completely bitten off. All you could see is the empty space where the teeth, everything should have been, the nose, the eyes, just a giant circle full of gore and what could be left of the teeth. They also saw a man, finely dressed, slowly walking away crying. And you can hear him say, "You should have heeded the warning, Simon. Now I'll never be able to be reunited with you." The black jaws of oppression strike once more.